Okay, here's part 2 to Pre TTCing. Let's see, where was I? I think we had said that I'm having a brain fart, guys. TTC. I'm literally having a brain fart. This is horrible, guys. And 37 seconds of a brain fart. This is, like, terrible. Oh, that's right. I was talking about pre-TTCing. That I was worried that if I would be able to actually carry a pregnancy full term. One, I'm tiny, but I know that has nothing to do with it. That's really not a concern. But when I went to the ER, I think it was sometime 2012, the doctor there had done a scan of my lower abdomen area because I was having kidney pain and freaked out like a horrible hypochondriac. Ended up in the ER, and he couldn't find anything wrong except for a kidney stone in my right kidney. And it wasn't moving, so that wasn't really a problem. But at the time, they did a scan on my lower area, and she informed me that I had a cyst on my right ovary, which, that's fine, whatever. That's not a big deal. She said it's about the size of her fingernail, which is fairly large, surprisingly. But nothing that she was too alarmed about. And that I also had a odd-shaped uterus. And I was like, odd-shaped uterus? I had, she asked me if anybody ever told you you have an odd-shaped uterus, and she goes, there's nothing really to worry about, it's just the way you're made. And I was like, really? Just the way I'm made? Thanks for giving me no information other than it's just the way I was made. Yeah, maybe I want to have kids sometime. You're really helping me out there, chick. But I don't think that that's what caused my miscarriage. In fact, we're fairly certain, along with maybe being a little vitamin deficient because I wasn't taking multivitamin. I had only been taking the prenatal vitamin when I got pregnant the first time, about a month. I didn't have much of a vitamin reserve, much unlike now where I have a little bit more of a reserve, because I've been taking a daily vitamin and so on and so forth. Is that I actually had some trauma to my uterine area early on when I was pregnant the first time. That was my cat. She decided to jump up and stretch. Because I don't know if you can see him. There he is. That's my baby. Hi, Striker. Hi, Bubby. I was laying in bed, and he was excited. My cat, I think, is going to get in my lap, so if you hear something, you'll know what it is. It's my cat, and you might see her tail. He got excited, and he pounced, much like a cat does, but he did it right on my uterus. And at that point in time, I was very aware. Well, I was not for certain that I was pregnant, but I kind of had an inkling that I was. He hit it, but good, and it hurt really bad. And it was pretty soon it was about 2 or 3 days later I started spotting again, and then turned into actual bleeding. I'm not saying that my dog caused the miscarriage, but I do think that it might have played a role in it. Um, and it could have just been that there was something wrong with the baby. And that's fine too. I mean, I'm okay with that now, more so than I used to be. But you know, I kind of always in the back of my mind go, well, what if he hadn't pounced on my uterus? Would I still be pregnant? Could I be, 8, no, 7 months pregnant right now? My original due date was supposed to be March 8th of 2013. So that due date is quickly approaching. And, not being pregnant, it sucks, but we're moving on and moving up. So hopefully my next pap smear will come back normal. Technically, we should wait until see what happens with my pap smear before we trying to conceive. But I'm not getting any younger, and I know for fertility health, waiting much longer than being 20, going on 25. I don't want to wait. I would rather be. I much would have rather have been having a baby at like 22 versus 25. Just even if it was just my first. But that wasn't in the cards for me, and it wasn't in the plans, and it didn't happen. And so we here we are now, pre TTCing for maybe baby 2013. My next video will be TTCing videos, so at least for this series. I'll probably have other videos before then. Just depends on when we do start trying. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up pre TTCing. I'm not really doing anything specific. Like I said, just taking regular multivitamin. Trying to eat healthy, which is really hard to do around here. I am still temping. I'm temping mainly because we use natural family planning. So we don't use any contraceptive except for natural contraceptive, which can fail you, by the way, or trick you, as it did me in June. So yeah, this is the first full 2 cycles that we've had. Well, first cycle that we've used nothing but natural family planning. Last cycle I wasn't comfortable with using strictly natural family planning, because I was like, knowing my luck, I would just end up pregnant right away. But of course I got my period, which was a relief. I was actually quite scared. This month we were intimate before my fertile time during the first half of my cycle, which has been kind of nerve-wracking. Just because that's a new experience for me. It kind of sucks though. One thing I don't tell you about natural family planning is that, it's harder for us women to get excited when we're doing natural family planning. Yes, it's great, you can have unprotected intercourse, but you don't want it as bad as you do when you're ovulating. So while it doesn't take the guy a whole heck of a lot to get happy and all that other good stuff, you women have to work at it. You just really have to work at it. Um, sometimes it's easier than others. Um, sometimes it's hard, but you do it anyways. And I will say though, there is a, you know what? How about I just make a video about natural family planning? Sounds like a good one. Okay. Alright, bye guys.